Howdy music fans, thanks for joining me today. Somebody requested that I do a video on my guitar collection. Don, I think it was, at that old Goats Final. So here we go. First off is a little number that I bought in Spain when I lived there in 2000, I think it was. Then this is one that my ex-girlfriend, great good friend, made for me for my last birthday recently, last September. And it's a seagull like I owned for over 25 years, and you can tell by the little um, logo there, a little emblem, headstock. And she made a little stand for it and everything. Isn't that cool? And then this is a belt buckle Les Paul that I got as a kid from my aunt, I believe, and as a gift. And it's even left-handed because it's a belt buckle. And I'm left-handed. Okay, now we'll get to the real ones. So the first one here is a baritone ukulele that a friend gave to me, left-handed. Then a left-handed banjo, no name, that a friend gave to me. I've taken a couple or few banjo classes, but never really took. The thing about the baritone ukulele is the top four strings are tuned like a guitar, so it's pretty easy to figure out from there. Are tuned like the top four strings of a guitar. Next is my first resonator that the same friend that gave me the ukulele also gave me, and it was right-handed, and he turned it around and made it left-handed. And you might think, well, can't you just turn guitars around and make them left-handed? And the answer would be no. You shouldn't do that unless they have a ladder brace inside, and we'll get to that later. Okay, next is a mandolin, my second mandolin that I got after I'd bought a $100 cheapo one to see if I really wanted to play it. And I played it in my second band called Secondhand Sunday, or third band, I don't remember, but I played everything from guitar to mandolin to electric guitar, basically, to a Telecaster. This is an Eastman that was, I think, listed at $1,400 or $1,600, but because of this blemish, it was $800 for me. So, yay! It's a beautiful, beautiful mandolin, beautiful sounding and beautiful looking. The one that I have in Baltimore is an A frame or A shape or whatever, and that's the cheapo one. And that's the hat that all the contest entries will go into. Okay, next is the very first thing that I ever bought with my own money on layaway. First guitar, it's a left-handed Les Paul Invader, 1989 I think it is, or maybe it's a little earlier. It's got to be earlier because I played this in a punk rock band called the Criminally Insane that I was in the 80s. So, anyway, this is the Les Paul Invader. It's kind of rare. It never really took off, so they didn't make a lot of them. But it's not worth a whole lot. I think I paid $389 for it on layaway at Bill's Music House in Catonsville, Maryland, and was really happy when I could finally walk away with it. Next is an Alvarez, a lefty that I bought specifically to learn how to finger pick because the neck is wider, so the strings are a little farther apart, and the neck is shorter, so it's just an easier kind of guitar to get around. It's a like a parlor. Next is my main guitar that I play on stage with my band or wherever, and that's a Martin, and I think it's called Sustainable Wood version or something, SG something OT, I forget, but it's yeah, it's a Martin and it's made lefty. Now the reason you don't buy right-handed guitars and turn them lefty is because most of them have an X brace on the inside, and since the top strings, the low E string and the A string and D string, are heavier, they take more tension, and so the brace is built that way on the inside. So what that means is if you turn it around, you can start to pull the neck up off the guitar or the bridge up off the guitar because on one side because the tension is different between from the top to the bottom of the strings. But if I used to take guitar lessons and some classes from a guy named Steve James, who is a pretty world-renowned, phenomenal slide player, and I wanted to get a national, and he's a national rep, and national is a big deal apparently, and they're considered the best. And he said, well, if you can't buy a national, if you can't afford a national, get one of these, a K or a Harmony, something that these guys in the 60s would play, and factories cranked these out like crazy. They're built like baseball bats, basically. They're incredibly durable, and they have what's called a ladder brace. So the brace goes like this, and it's even on the inside and goes across instead of the X brace. And so it doesn't matter if you switch it around. So Steve was nice enough to switch this around for me. He said, Find one of these for $50 or $25 at a yard sale and or garage sale or whatever, and I'll turn it around for $100." And so I found this, I think, a few weeks later for $40 or something, and he turned it around for me. It's been a great starter guitar for slide, and I still like it. That's tuned to Open G currently. And then I found another one. Stella is the other brand he said you could find, and I found a Stella, and here it is. This one was also, I don't know, one was 65 and one was 25, I think, I forget, but same exact story with this. You know, you turn it around for slide, turn it around left-handed, and it's easy to do because it's got a ladder brace on the inside, and this is the kind of thing that guys in the 60s used to play. They couldn't afford much else a lot of time, and they'd play slide on these, and they'd distort the hell out of them. I think Elmore James might have done that. Okay, next, another old guitar of mine, a Hammer. This is the one that in my Joan Jett videos I mentioned that Joan Jett signed, and there it is. And there's the Natty Boh sticker at the Baltimore Beer, and then there's a Joan Jett sticker, and then the band Ricky Byrd and Kazim Sultan signed it under the strings. Son of a... and then the Ricky Byrd signed it too. Anyway, I saw this guitar on a Rock Scene magazine in the 70s. It's a 79 Hammer, and it was being given away and estimated at $1,000, and I bought it in a pawn shop in Baltimore for $250. So, yay. All right, next, we'll just go straight down the line here. This is I forget what this is because this is new to me. I just saw it on Craigslist, and I was like, holy crap, that's gorgeous. I think I did buy this during COVID. It is a Art and Lutherie Canadian guitar, and I just love it. It's just gorgeous, and it's got electronics already, and it was pretty cheap. I think I got it for $250 or something, and it's just a great guitar. Yeah. Now, what self-respecting guitar player doesn't own a Telecaster? This is my second Telecaster. My first one I had to get rid of when I was a kid. I had to sell it because I couldn't afford it, but this is an American-made, I believe, or maybe Mexican-made Fender Telecaster Sunburst. Beautiful guitar. This is where I've made my last 3 albums, I think. My last 3 CDs right here at this, in this corner of my apartment. Okay, next we got the granddaddy of them all. I found this online one day, left-handed National resonator. I sent a text to Steve James with it. It was priced at 22 something, and he said, he's a National rep. He said, buy it. I can't get that for under $3,500. And I said, okay. And I offered a price on it. It had a make an offer, and I offered my tax check at the time, which was $1,700. And the guy came back with $1,900, and now it is mine. I bought it for that. It's got a little ding somewhere. I forget where, a little chip. That might be why it was so quote unquote cheap, inexpensive, but it's a tricone National M1 left-handed. Is that the ding? No, it's not it. I can't remember where the ding is, but there's a little chip in it somewhere, and you know, I'm not. That doesn't matter to me so much. Anyway, gorgeous guitar. And then this is another one that I bought before COVID, but not too long ago. This is a Ravens West Telecaster, and let's check this out. This is why I bought it. This is gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And it was pretty cheap also, like $250. Most of my guitars I buy used. As a matter of fact, that Gibson Invader might be the only thing I've ever bought new. Oh, and the Martin. I bought the Martin new. And I've had other guitars come and go. In Baltimore right now, I've got a Baby Taylor, which I had custom made left-handed because they didn't make them at the time. When I moved to Spain, I wanted to, briefly for a few months, I wanted to take a guitar with me, and so I got that made at Appalachian Bluegrass in Catonsville, Maryland, and took it on the Eurorail and had it with me when I lived in Spain, and it was a great little companion. Since then, out here I bought a little Martin, which a while ago I sold, which I regret, but and then I've got a fake Stratocaster at home, a red, cherry red Hondo Fame Series Stratocaster. And then I've got the mandolin, the A for A mandolin. So that's it, my friends. Here's I'm pretty sure all of my guitars. I don't think there's any more that I'm forgetting or missing. All of my stringed instruments in general. And that is it. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please go ahead and leave any comments you want. Like, subscribe, and comment. Love to hear what you think. And that's it. Have a good day. Go Chiefs.